things moving on to the next game. The Bills beat the Broncos 31-7, and this was a weekend of doinks. The doink at the end of the first half of this game, in which Will Lutz tried to tie the game at 10 going into halftime, and he banks it off of the upright, ricochets back, no good. The Broncos lost the game at that point. But Kevin, just what did you think of this one overall?
So I'm sitting on the couch with the missus, and Bo Nix comes out, and I thought I was watching Peyton Manning. Completion after completion after completion, then there's a deep bomb to Troy Franklin. I looked at Alyssa, I said, God damn it, we have ourselves a game. That plus 9.5, cake. And then Josh came out, scored a touchdown, 3 and out, scored a touchdown, 3 and out, scored a touchdown, 3 and out. And I said, Alyssa, it's just like that. It's nap time. It's time to get in a quick little power nap before the game. This Bills offense is looking magnificent. The Broncos have one of the best defenses in the game, and they gave 100 rushing yards in the first quarter. Playoff history, never been done before. First quarter, 100 yards. And I'm sure it was with about 3-4 minutes left. Ty Johnson. Who? Ty Johnson. 9 carries, 44 yards. James Cook continuing his dominance. 23 carries for 120 yards. This Bills game is legit, man. And if they can get this passing game to continue to grow, continue to be consistent with Amari Cooper, you have Khalil Shakir, Keon Coleman, Dalton Schultz, Kincaid, so that they have a lot of the right weapons. And if this Bills defense can continue to play the way they are playing, I think the Bills are going to be very scary and will let a lot of people know that it's not just Patrick Mahomes in the AFC. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the Bills do next weekend.
Dawson Knox and Dalton Kincaid, they are a great and underrated duo, in my opinion. But Toddy, what did you think of the Broncos breaking their playoff drought, but then ultimately losing?
Yeah, similar to the Chargers. I felt like the Broncos were kind of a team I would thought that would kind of just be happy to be here. They got a real head coach. Sean Payton turns programs around. Obviously, his success in New Orleans, you're kind of hoping that would carry over into Denver. Year one wasn't what it was expected because he couldn't work with Russell. He tried everything that he could. Just didn't work out the way that he would have hoped. They were in the position to draft a young guy in Bo Nix at 12. And, he's able to kind of do what he can because the roster is kind of was hindered due to that Russell Wilson massive contract. And I think they're getting out of that this year, so they're able to maybe spend a little bit more money in free agency. But the Broncos showed a lot of fight this entire year. I don't know if any of us would have picked them to get to the playoffs, given what this roster has been constructed. Even in the regular season, or not the regular season, in the off season, you're hearing a bunch of guys possibly being traded. Guys like Pat Surtain were in trade discussions just because they were trying to get some whatever money that they could scrounge up, just because they were so hindered by that massive contract from Russell Wilson. But you end up keeping Surtain. I think they extended him, if I'm not mistaken. And you get a guy in Bo Nix who's able to make a bunch of plays with his feet and extend plays, and be able to throw the ball downfield. And it showed in that first drive that Kevin was talking about. Troy Franklin, rookie to rookie. They played at Oregon together. Bo Nix to Troy Franklin. I think it's like a NFL record. There's never been a rookie to rookie touchdown in NFL history, which is pretty insane. So they have a lot to look forward to. I like the running back, Javonte Williams, played at North Carolina, was coming off of an ACL injury, if I'm not mistaken, this past year. You have guys like Cortland Sutton, who I've always thought has been a really solid receiver. He just was kind of stuck in Denver, and, you never really get to see too much from him because it was either Russell Wilson or guys like Locke that were throwing the ball, so he kind of got lost in the weeds. And when you got a quarterback of, that has some wherewithal and, can actually push the ball downfield, 1,000-yard season. So I just think this Denver team has a lot to look forward to going into free agency, going into the draft. You're not going to have that much good of a pick now because you made the playoffs this year. So they had a good season. They have lots to look forward to. That division is going to always be tough. You got the Chargers, you have the Chiefs now, and what are the Raiders going to look like with whoever they hire and what they do in free agency. So, as far as the Bills go, the Bills are kind of just a bowling ball. You with Josh Allen at helm, they can pretty much do anything. I know a bunch of us were talking about this receiving core and what the team would look like without Stephon Diggs, and I think myself, I'm not sure if Kevin did. I think myself and Kevin didn't even think they were going to make the playoffs. But Josh Allen kind of just put his cape on throughout the entire year, and he's neck and neck for the MVP race. And I mean, without him on the team, what will this team look like? I mean, we kind of saw a preview of it with Mitch Trubisky in Week 17, kind of what they would look like. But I mean, without Josh Allen, this team is sub 500 team, probably doesn't even snip the playoffs. So for them to kind of, get slapped in the face on the first drive of the game, I wasn't really worried about it because I expected if Denver got the ball, they would try to do something early and want to start fast. That was probably the game plan going into it. If they were to, win the coin toss, they get the ball, hopefully go down and score, put some pressure on Josh Allen early and try to make them fight back a little bit. But obviously, I mean, the Bills kind of, I don't know if you guys have seen that one. It's a video. It's an old video of a guy who used to play like on the Jaguars, and he like wanted the equipment manager to hit him in the face, and he was like, "You didn't hit me hard enough. You gotta hit me harder." And then he hits him again. And he starts bleeding, and then he's just like starts screaming. He gets all fired up. That's kind of like what the Bills felt like. Like you got to hit me harder than that. So. For the Bills to kind of come out and score, what was it, like 31 unanswered points? It was pretty crazy. So, I mean, that was a tune-up for them, I would like to say, because going into next week, obviously they're at home, but they got a team that beat their ass earlier in the year in the Baltimore Ravens, and they're going to want some get back for sure. I'm not sure what. Go ahead, Shaun. You can read the comment.
Brandon says, I heard Deontay Johnson was angry Stingley had more receptions than him.
Yeah. You guys see they cut him today? They cut Deontay Johnson.
They cut him? That's
as they
tough.
should.
Damn.
I mean, dude just got a bad attitude. Like, I understand.
He was on like the Panthers to start the year. He's been on like how many teams has he been on this year? 3?
Yeah.
3 teams in 1 year is crazy work.
2 teams in 3 weeks is even crazier.
How many teams has he been on in 2 years?
Steelers, Panthers, Ravens, Texans, 4.
4 teams in 2 years is just that's hey man, it's time to look in the mirror. We gotta look ourselves in the mirror. Something ain't working.
Well, if you ask Kevin and also Kaz,